Hello guys, today in this tutorial we will be discussing the different kinds of JavaScript E6 array methods one by one. Basically inside modern JavaScript we have different kinds of loops, which is for each, and map method as well, reduce method. So we will try to discuss each array method in detail inside JavaScript. So let me just open this Visual Studio Code text editor in my code editor. So we will be discussing that in detail. So each method we will be explaining it in detail, guys. So just if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So in JavaScript we have different kinds of methods out there. We have the loops as well. For each loop is also there inside JavaScript, so we will try to discuss that. So basically, if you are facing any sort of problem, you can also ask the comments in the comment section as well, so I will reply to your questions. So first of all, guys, inside this code editor we will make a simple index.html file here. So basically here we will be making a title which we will be giving, which is JavaScript array methods crash course. So basically, guys, first of all we will be discussing about here we can include the script file, which will be equal to script.js. So simply include this file, and inside your root directory just make script.js. And here, guys, first of all we will be declaring the array here. So we will be declaring array of numbers. So here we will simply say numbers here, and basically this will be an array of numbers which will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can see that inside this JavaScript array, guys, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are there. So as you see, guys, the indexing starts from 0. If you see in indexing, in array start from 0. So you can now see the index here will start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now if you want to loop through these array, guys, first of all we have the option, we can use a simple for loop. So if you want to use a for loop, guys, we will start it from, we will say let I is equal to 0, and basically we need to loop through this whole array here. So now to basically get the length of this array, guys, basically we can simply say here numbers dot length. So basically it will exactly tell me the length of this array, and basically if you execute this JavaScript program in the browser, so it will exactly tell you the length of the array here. So basically if you see, if you go to the console here, basically it will tell you the length of this array. So it is saying exactly 6 elements are present inside this array. So you will see that exactly 6 elements are present, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, guys, we can simply use a simple for loop. Basically here we can simply use a for loop here. So here we can simply say let I is equal to 0, and here we can simply say it should run until numbers dot length I plus plus. So it's a simple for loop here, guys. You can see that this is a syntax of a simple for loop. It will start from 0 and it will run until the length of the array, which is numbers dot length, and then we will be incrementing the value of I plus plus. So after this, guys, what we can simply say that basically here we can simply console log the actual value which is inside the numbers array. So numbers I. So if you do this, guys, basically what will happen now, so if you see, basically in the console all the values will be printed out of this array, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this 6 is coming because of this statement here, guys. So if I just remove this, so if you see, now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are displaying all the elements which are present inside this array. You will see the numbers array. So we are looping through using a simple for loop. This is the first way by which you can inside arrays, guys, basically in order to loop through the whole array. This can even be a string as well. Basically, if I say here Kane, John, and if I say, it can also be a string array. It totally depends upon you which elements you need to say. So now we have 4 names: Kane, John, Guptill, Anderson. So 4 names are there. And once again, basically, if you refresh it now, applying the same logic, you will now see this will be printed out in the console: Kane, John, Guptill, and Anderson. So it can even contain numbers as well, guys. You can now see it can even contain numbers as well. So it totally depends upon you. You will now see Kane, 15, John. It can even contain floating point numbers, which is, let's suppose, 15.6. So it is a floating point number. It is an integer, it's a string. So basically it can contain any integer value. We'll now see 15.6. So you can now see, guys. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. And the nice thing about, guys, it can even contain an object as well. So let's suppose the next thing is the object. So what we can simply say, basically this array can also be a set of object. So here we can define an object. In this object, this will be a JavaScript object. So name is equal to John, and then we have the age, which is equal to, let's suppose, 25. This is one object here. We can put a comma here to have the next object here. Again, there will be name property. Age property will be, let's suppose, 26. Then again we will have another name property, which will be now Guptill, and age is, let's suppose, 32. And once again we will have another property of name. So it's a series of array of objects, guys. You can just see here. And basically we have the age property, which is 33. So now if you see, guys, basically inside this array we have 4 objects. We have defined this. So if you want to loop through these array of objects, we will apply the same logic. If you see numbers.length, and this time we are looping through the object. So this time we can simply access the array by using, we will simply say the name is, we can say the name is, and then we can say here we can simply say numbers I dot name, and then the age. For the age we can simply say the age is, and then we can simply say numbers I age, like this. So the name is this, the age is this, and if you see, guys, if you refresh it, you can now see the name is John, age is 25, Kane 26. So in this way, guys, you can even loop through the array of objects using the for loop, applying the same logic. So now, guys, if you want to do the same task here using the modern way, which is JavaScript ES6 way, which is a for each loop. All of you know this for each loop, guys. Basically this is the modern way. All the programmers use the for each loop to do the task. If you're watching it for the very first time, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. I'm seeing people are not liking the content, only 2 likes are there, 6 people are watching. Please hit the like button. So basically there is the more modern way of doing things here using the for each loop. So this is a syntax basically of for each loop. So we have this, we need to replace the array name. So in this case the array name is, let's suppose I replace it to users. I need to change this to users. This is the array name, you can now see, guys, which is users. Basically here we will put users, and for each user, this is a syntax here, for each, and for each user we can simply say console log user dot name, and then user, or we can simply say like this, the user with the name, this is a template string we are using, has age equal to, and then the age property which is inside user.age. So this for each loop, guys, basically it reduces the code and also it increases efficiency. You will see how easy it is to write as compared to the for each loop. How easy it is. On a single line we will able to print out multiple properties. If you refresh it now, basically go to the browser, and if you go to your console here, basically the user with the name John has age equal to 25, the user with the name Kane has age equal to 26. So in this way, guys, you can do it by easily using the for each loop. So this is very much useful, guys, which is this for each loop. You have used this loop a lot inside whenever you want to use to print out the data or loop through the data coming from an API. So this for each loop is used in React.js application, Angular applications, or any sort of modern JavaScript Node.js application. You have used this for each. And then we have also the next function, guys, we will discuss, which is the actual map function. So you have used this map function, guys, when it comes to arrays. So let's suppose we take an example here for this. So now we will be discussing about the map function, guys, of array in JavaScript. So basically map is nothing but, guys, basically it's a modern JavaScript arrays method, map function. Basically, let's suppose we have this numbers array here. So we have this numbers array. So we can just have any elements here. Let's suppose we have 13, 14, 1, 2, 45, 60. So now we have, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements are there inside this numbers array. And now basically we need to apply the map function. So now the function is dot. You will see all these methods are available: concat, copy within, entries, every, fill, filter. One such method you will find out, guys, if you see, this is a map method. Basically this is the map method here. So with the help of this map method, guys, basically it accepts a 3 arguments. Basically it can accept up to 3 arguments. The map method calls the callback function one time for each element in the array. So it calls a defined callback function on each element of an array and returns an array that contains the result. So simply you can see the description of this method, guys. Basically you need to first of all pass the actual number. So here we are passing the actual number. So here we can even console log this number like this. If you see console log number, if you try to console log this, if you go to your application, you will now see all the elements will be printed out, which is 13, 14, 1, 2, 45, 60. So basically this map function is taking the input here. Some comments are there. Your fan is saying hi. So please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel. So inside this map method, guys, you will see the first argument is passed here, which is the actual number here, basically, which is present inside this array. So 13 will be passed first of all, 14, and then 1, 2, 45, and 60. So for each element, guys, we need to transform this with a function. So some more comments are there, which is Bedrock is saying hello, Shakti is also saying hello. What is your laptop specification? Basically my laptop specification, it contains 8 GB of RAM, and basically it's a Asus TUF gaming model. If you see the Asus TUF gaming, and its price was 60,000 when I bought it. So specifications are very much say it's a 8 GB RAM is there inside this. So basically it also have GTX GeForce graphics card as well. So it is more than enough if you want to do live streaming or gaming as well. So I think it's a very good model if you want to purchase it for programming, live streaming, or or any sort of purpose, video editing. So it's a very budget friendly laptop. So now we will be you can see we are looping through this maps array, right? So I don't like to work on PCs. Laptop is more than enough for me, so I don't want to waste money on PC. So if you want, PCs are not relevant in this modern age. Laptops are more popular than PCs, so that's why. So you can see we are putting the map function, guys. You can now see we are putting this number, and we are taking this number here. Did you also play games? Yeah. Normally I play games very rarely on this laptop. I play PUBG PC, which is, you have seen this game PUBG PC. So it's a very hard game in terms of its size is very much, so it runs on this laptop very smoothly. So I think that it is also good for gaming as well. So I don't play that much games, but PUBG PC I play it. So not no, not really. PCs are better to work on, but laptop is better for more people that need it at work, etc. Your laptop is flexible because on PC you need to work at a particular place, and also it takes a lot of space, PCs. But with laptop it is more than sufficient that you can work with anywhere. You can take the laptop at any place, but it is not the case with PC. So I think that, by the way, I learned a lot from your channel, so thanks very much, Bedrock. Where are you from? Please hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button. Subscribe the channel as well. So basically in this channel we uploaded daily live streams related to programming and web development, so consider subscribing. So you will see that, guys, we have this set of numbers out there, and basically we are using this map method which are there. So we are using this map method. So basically here we are passing the first argument as the actual number which is present inside this array. So here for the first time this 13 will be passed, then 14 will be passed like this. So this is the first argument which is passed here, guys. So as you see, and now we also need to pass here the second argument. Basically first is the actual number, and the second argument will be the actual callback function. So here we will be having a simple callback function here. So here we will simply say number and then this multiply. So here, guys, if you see, guys, basically we are calling a external function here. Basically here we will say function multiply, and basically here we can simply return number multiplied by 2. So if you now console log it, basically if you store it with we will say numbers 2, and if you try to console log this, guys, basically if you try to console log number 2, basically numbers 2 is a completely different array as compared to the original array. Basically this is the quality of the map method. Basically it doesn't interfere with the original array, it creates a new array. And if you now see here, basically this map method, if you refresh it, so you will see that some error has taken place. It is saying number is not defined. I think we need to pass this number as an argument. So number is not defined. Let me see, guys, what is the problem. So basically I was telling, guys, this map method, basically if you see this map method, let me see. So this map method actually takes the array here, for each element inside this array, and let's suppose we want to return, this is a callback function, we need to return number multiplied by 2. So if you now see your result in the browser side, you will now see, guys, in the console, if you see, we forgot to console log the numbers 2 array. So just console log it, and basically what you will find out, guys, which you see, a new array has been constructed at line number 9. You will now see a new array has been constructed, and this array, you can now see the values are 26, 28, 2, 4, 90 and 120. So all these values are taken, guys. You can see it is, each number is multiplied by 2. So 13 multiplied by 2 comes out to be 26, then 14 multiplied by 2 comes out to be 28, then 1 multiplied by 2 comes out to be 2, 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 45 multiplied by 2 is 90. So if you just see the result, guys, basically we have multiplied each number in the array by 2 by using this map method. So you can apply any logic, guys, inside this method. Inside this return, you can even multiply it by 4 as well. This will construct a newly created array in the console. Now you can see that. So here you can apply any sort of logic, guys, with the array, any logic with the array. So this is called the map method, guys. You can map an entire array basically inside this function. You can take each element in the array and you can change its value by applying any sort of logic. So you can even have this a string as well. Basically this can also be a string array. So John Kane, and then we can even say here Smith, and then we can even say here Anderson. So let's suppose we want to count the characters of each array item. So in this case for John character we have 4, length of these characters is 4. So what we can simply say here, we can simply return here number dot length. So if you refresh it now, you will now see. So John character, if you see, it contains exactly 4 characters. Kane is also 4 characters. Smith is 5 characters. Anderson is 6 characters. So it has counted, you will now see 4, 4, 5, 8. Anderson, if you see, basically it contains, if you clearly see in Anderson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you will see that it contains 8 characters. So up till now, guys, if you have any sort of problem with this map method, basically the use of map method is to edit the original array, and it basically doesn't modify the original array. Instead it creates a new array using this map method. We need to store it inside a completely different variable, and then we are console logging it. You have used this map method, guys, inside your React.js applications. If you are fetching any sort of data from an API, if you want to display this inside JSX, you use this map method. So exactly this is the syntax of this map method. You can easily do this process. And the next method, guys, we will look at, these are a very few methods, which is JavaScript E6 methods here, which are there here. If you go to w3schools.com, you will be seeing all these basically array methods that is available, and you can even type here all the JavaScript E6 methods. Bro, you must let के bro तू must let के कड़ा what is कड़क लगता है full लेट के कोडिंग करना है. If you type here, guys, JavaScript E6 array methods, you will get an entire list of all the methods which are present inside this. Basically you will, so these are the list of methods, guys. If you want to do good in programming, you need to learn all these methods. One such method, I will declare it. Basically the next method we will do it. Let's suppose we declare an array here. This is now 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alex is saying hi, how are you? So thanks very much, guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. Thanks for explaining, but I recommend you to have good lighting on your background software so that we can actually feel as your instructor. Thank you. Means it's fun to code. Okay, I don't believe in so much lighting. I believe in only the education that I provide. I don't believe in the lighting. I don't believe in the background. So I think my explanation, what I'm providing you, is more important than the lighting. I don't believe in fancy stuff such as lighting. So content is the most important thing. If you are here to learn, basically concentrate on the content, not on the lighting. So basically now to access this element, guys, if you see, now do we, if you want to access the elements, bro, I know you don't believe in background, but it fucks. Uh, we if you want to access this array, guys, basically we will say numbers, and then you, if you want to index, your explanation is good, but basically if you want to access any of the individual elements inside the array, let's suppose you want to access the second element, here you will provide like this, inside square brackets you will provide here 1. I got job because of you. So you can now see, if you want to get the, if you open this with live server, basically if you go to in console, you are doing excellent, your explanation and content is worth. So Arul Johnson, thank you very much. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. So in the console, guys, you will see now 5 is printed out. You can now see 5 is printed out because it is there inside the second element. So indexing starts from 0, guys. You will see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why 5 is printed out here. And similarly, if you want to access the let's suppose I want to access the fourth element, I will simply say here 0, 1, 2, 3. So the formula is very simple, basically like this. So whatever element that you want to access, you need to subtract 1 from it to get the index. So index from formula is very simple. Index is equal to actual number that you want to get minus 1. So basically if you want to get the fourth element, so index will be, for the fourth element will be 4 minus 1, which will be equal to 3. If you want to access the 10th element, you will access the 9th index. So that is the formula, guys, that we are expecting here. And this can be either string array, it can also be a string array, totally depends upon you, floating point number array. It can even be an object as well, entire object, JavaScript object. So basically it can even be a JSON object. Well, so JSON object is like this. So like this. So it totally depends upon you guys which data type you want to focus here. And now we will be talking about different types of methods, guys, which are available inside JavaScript. So first of all, hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So basically we will be talking about the next method here, which is called as we will be looking at a new method here, which is called as Concat. Concat method, guys, this method is used to merge 2 or more arrays together. So basically if you have multiple arrays that you want to join or concatenate, basically we use this method. So let's suppose we declare the first array, which is number 1, and here we are having 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. And then we have the second array, which is number 2, and here inside this we have 7, 8, or we have 45, 50, 78, 90, 89, 100. So just look at, guys, we have 2 arrays out there, number 1 and number 2. Now we need to concatenate it. We need to join or merge these 2 arrays, or merge these 2 arrays. So what we can do, guys, basically, so now to do this, guys, basically we have a function out there, which is a JavaScript function. We can call this function, which is called as, we can construct a new array, which is number 3, and here we can simply say number 1, and here we have this method, which is concat, and here we will pass the method or array that we need to concatenate. So here we will pass number 2, that's it. if you console log the number 3 array, guys, so console log the number 3 array, so basically what you will find out that all the elements which are present inside these two arrays will be concatenated, will be merged into this third array, and we are console logging it. So if you just console log it and go to your console and simply say it contains 12 elements, guys, you can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 45, 56, 78, 90, 89, 100. So all the elements are being merged successfully, guys. All the elements which are present here in number 1 and number 2 are completely merged inside the third array. If you have any sort of doubt, guys, until this point, you can ask in the comment section. I will try to reply to all the questions which will be coming here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So a total of 12 elements are there, guys. You can see indexing start from 0, 0, 1, 11. So basically, guys, if you are watching it for the very first time, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. And this is the method, guys, concatenate method that we discussed. This can even be a string array, guys, also. Basically, if you put a John here, Smith, so let's suppose this is a string array and this is a number array. You can even join this also. If you now see, this array is also joined. So John Smith 45, all that stuff. So it can contain any data type, totally depends upon you. This can also contain an object as well. So let's suppose we have an object, name property we have, and if you refresh it, you will now see this can concatenate 0, 1, and this contains an object, name property, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it can also contain object, guys. You can easily concatenate these arrays or merge these arrays, join these arrays. This is the first method. Now we will be discussing the next method, guys, which is very important. Basically, let me move on to the second method, guys, inside this ES6, which will be the filter method, guys. Basically, filter method is basically it creates, it's similar to map method, but there is this one basically difference between filter and map. Basically, filter also create a new array with elements that follow or pass a certain condition which is given, a certain criteria. How to convert an array string to number? Can you please make a series of asynchronous JavaScript topics like promises, callbacks, and event loop? Definitely, I will definitely make Alex Gaming. You have raised a very important topic here, and I really like the asynchronous topics such as promises, callbacks, all that important stuff. So I think in the next live stream I will definitely try to make the live stream on that topic. Be sure to join on that live stream. And Yash Tyagi, I will answer your question. How you are saying how to convert an array string to a number? So it's very easy. Basically, what you can do, let's suppose we have how to convert an array string to a number. So Yash Tyagi, I think you are saying that basically in the array, if you want to convert a string to a number, Yash Tyagi, there is a method out there. Convert a string to a number. We have a method out there which lets you convert this. Basically, we let's suppose we have a variable which is called as a number which is called as 13, or sorry, 14. So now if you, in order to convert this to a number, there is a function out there which is called as parseInt. Basically, it basically converts, you will see, a string you need to be passed here to convert to a number. Basically, it converts a string to an integer. So that's exactly you're talking about. If you pass this number, if you console log it, basically it will convert this to a number. You will see 14 will be returned to you. If you early on do this, if you early on put this number here, now basically you will see that it will now, if you see in the browser side here, this also return 14, but the floating time, the type of this variable will be 14. If you console log type of, basically if you put the type of, basically it is a string variable, but when we apply this parse int, basically it changes it to a number. And if you see, now it becomes a number, from a string to a number. So this method is very much useful, guys, which is parse int. And if you now want to do the reverse process, which is basically if you want to convert a number to a integer, we have a different method out there for this. I think it is if you have a number here, let's suppose we have a number 14, and now if you want to convert this to a number, sorry, string, we have this method which is toString. So this actually basically it basically converts a number to a string. So we can put a type of here. So if you put a type of, you will now see this will convert this to a number. First of all, it was a number, and now it has converted to a string. So in this way, guys, these are the two important methods, which is parse int. Parse int, this actually convert string to a number, and then we have this toString, which actually convert number to string. So now, guys, we were talking about a next method which is called as filter method. Basically, guys, filter method is same as map method, except inside filter method we need to pass a specific callback function. Based upon, we will pass a certain condition needs to be met. So let's suppose we take a very simple example of filter method. Let's suppose we have an array here, which is this array. Let me rename this array to ages. So we have 45, 56, 78, 90. Let me take basically put it to 15, 40, 10, and then we have 47. So basically we need to filter out all the ages which are below, which are greater than 18. So now we need to remove these elements which are below 18, which is 15, 14, and 10. So how we can do this? So for this specific purpose, guys, in order to remove the elements based upon a certain condition, we use this filter method. So now to apply this, it's very easy. Ages dot filter, and then, guys, we will be applying this to the complete array. Basically here we will be passing a certain function here. We will put a actual age here, which is we will put the age, and then we will putting a callback function. So inside this callback function, guys, here we will be returning here age greater than 18. So what will happen now, guys, basically it will create a new array which is called as let adult. You will create an adult people array here. So it will contain all the adult people ages. So if you see, greater than, the ages will be greater than 18 here. So it will be 45, 56, 78, 47. So now if you see, if you refresh the browser, basically it is saying age is not defined. So if you now see, guys, there is a syntax which is there inside the filter method here. If you closely look here, we have the filter method. Basically, yeah, you will now see, yeah. So basically, guys, we are passing this age here. You can now see we are passing the age here. For each age we are returning, we are comparing this condition. We need to return only the ages which are greater than 18. So if you now console, if you refresh your browser, basically in the console you will now see only the ages which are greater than 18 here, which will be 45, 56, 78, 47 will be returned to you. You will now see. And also, guys, you can now put here only the ages which are below 18. If you reverse this condition, now only the 15, 14, 10. So basically, guys, you can put any condition, any restriction, and based upon that condition the filter method just filter out the elements inside the array. The name itself you can say what this method will do. So if you have any sort of doubt guys related to this method, you can ask in the comment section. Basically we put a certain kind of a condition guys. So let's suppose now we have a string array. We have John, we have Kane, we have Smith, and we have Guptill like this, and then we have Anderson. So let's suppose guys inside I'm taking a very practical example. So now we need to remove the, let me rename the two names here. Do you work with React? Yeah, definitely. I also make React.js project. So definitely in the future I will definitely make React.js as well. I love React.js. So I'm taking the very practical example guys. So let's suppose we need to remove all the names which start with Kane. So I need to remove this Kane method, Kane name. So now to remove this guys, we will create here modified names. So here we will pass this names and apply the filter method here. And for each name guys, basically we will be passing it as a callback function. So here we will be comparing that if name is not equal to Kane like this, then return out the name, return name. So basically here we are applying the condition guys. If the name is not equal to Kane, then you can simply push this name to the modified names array. If the name is equal to Kane, then remove this. We don't need to push this to the array. We don't need to return this name. So what will happen now, if you console log this modified arrays inside the browser, so you will see all the names would be there except Kane. You will now see John, Smith, Guptill, Anderson. So the name with the Kane is eliminated. You will see the name with Kane is completely eliminated. This is, you can also put another condition which is name is not equal to, we also don't want the name starting with Guptill as well. So you will now see, if you put this condition now, you will now see Guptill will also be get eliminated. If you see John, Kane, Smith, Guptill, Anderson. Let me see guys, what is the problem? If name is not equal to Kane and name is not equal to Guptill, what is the problem here? I think we need to put here and symbol. If name is not equal to Kane and or in either of these cases we need to return out name. If name is not equal to Kane, so name is not equal to Kane and name is not equal to Guptill. I think for this I need to use and symbol. If you use the and symbol guys, if you see, yeah, you can see that in both these situations guys, you can see John, Smith, Anderson. So you can see that guys, basically if the name was Kane here, if name is not equal to Kane, so in that scenario basically it was returned. So Kane was not, if Kane name was passed here, so Kane is not equal to Guptill. So you can see both the names were eliminated, John, Guptill and Kane. If you face any sort of problem guys, you can ask in the comment section. This was the very good method which is available to you. You can put any condition here, any condition that you need to put on the original array. This is a second method which we have discussed, which is the filter method. Now guys, we will be discussing the reduce method, reduce. So which is available, reduce method. If you check the next method, if it's available. So basically guys, basically inside this reduce method, If you want to calculate the sum of all the elements of the array, then we use this reduce method. So basically we have let's suppose we have a set of values inside this. We have 45, 46, 3, 4, 10, 34, 15. So we have a set of values here. Basically now we are using this reduce method. So now we will simply say here we will say numbers. So we will apply this numbers dot reduce, and here basically guys, inside this reduce method, here we will be passing a function which is called as calculate total. So we need to define this function, guys. We can also do like this. This function will have a total parameter and index, value, and the actual array. So basically these parameters are built in using this reduce parameter. You can console log the value of each value here, total. We can console log the index here, also console log the index, and we can console log the value as well, and we can also console log the actual array. So if you console log both the four values here, guys, if you try to do this, basically you will now see the first value is undefined, the total is undefined here, and then we will have the actual index value which is 3, and then we have the basically this is the index value. We are calculating the index which is 3. The actual value here, basically the actual value, it is printed out. The index is 1 here, and this is the actual array here which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a full array that we passed here. This is built in inside the reduce method. This is the actual value. This is the index variable. So the first value, guys, if you see in the total here, total is undefined. If you see here, let me just refresh it, the browser here. Basically, if you see, this is the, let me just put there, the total value is, so plus it, so then we will be printing out the index here. So the index value is, and similarly, guys, we will be having the value is value, and then we will simply say the array is like this. So 22 people are watching the stream, guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. Can you make a dependent search API if we have dependent drop down and filter of search input? What you are saying, I cannot understand. Alex Gaming, can you just elaborate what you are saying? I think you are saying that inside the drop down suggestions, something like YouTube suggestions or Google suggestions. For that, you need to insert the data to a database such as MySQL, MongoDB. I can definitely make that video. It's a very easy video. You just need to put the suggestions in the database, and then you can fetch the data from a database using the live drop down. So if you see in the browser, basically you will now see the total value is 45, the index value is 46, the value is 1, the actual value is 1, total value is 45, the index value is 46. What is this index value? Index value is 46, and the actual value is 1. The array is 1, you can now see. So basically we can now calculate the total of this. Basically, guys, we can simply return out the total of the, we can calculate the sum of all the elements which are present in the array. We can simply say here return, we can say return, and we can simply say total plus index. If you put here total dot index, I think there is this reduce method example is given to us, which is, yeah, total dot value. total dot value. So basically guys, if you refresh it, it will now calculate you to the full value of, if you refresh it now, basically if you now console log it, if you created basically a total array, if you want to console log it, console log total, if you refresh it, basically what happens here, so this value comes out to be 66 guys. This is the total value which is constructed script.js 8. If you see, we have this value 46 plus 46 plus 3 plus 4 plus 12. If you see guys, basically it constructed the sum of all the elements, which is the reduce. So you can see a total value index array. So if you refresh it now guys, basically total index value, total in value, sorry, value will be here. So if you now refresh it guys, basically it is saying calculate total is not defined. So just rename this to calculate total guys. So if you now refresh it now in your browser, so you can see 157 is returned to you. 157 is returned, and basically guys, this is coming of all the sum here. If I change it to, let's suppose 1 2 3 4 5, so if you sum all these elements, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, 14 plus 1 is 15. So if you check the result here, which is 15 here, so basically this is the actual reduce method guys, which basically sums up all the elements of the array. And if you console log the value here, console log total, and if you also console log the console log value, if you console log the index, and if you console log the array like this, so if you refresh it now, basically suppose we have country, state and city dependent back drop down, and we need to make an API that adapt all cases of search, like we only need select country and state, and also if all the three filters apply, should adapt that also. Suppose we have country, state and city dependent drop down. So you're talking about if we select a country, then it will show all the states of that country, and if I select an individual state, it will show all the cities which are there inside the state. So let's suppose if we select India, it should display all the states which are available in India. Okay, I know these select paths which are available on government websites. So if you're making any sort of PAN card or Aadhaar card, so you can definitely make that, but for this you need to first of all manually insert the data in the database. So you need to create a table of all the countries, create a table for all the states, create a table for all the cities, and then you need to interlink those tables. This is very much easy in MySQL database, but it will be little bit tougher in MongoDB database. This is a NoSQL database. So in which database if you want to see, but I can make it in both the database if you want. I will require some time for that, so definitely I will make it. So you will see that this is the index which is showing here guys. This is a total value, and this is actual value here, which is 2, aggregation 1. You can now see. So aggregation need in Mongo, I think, for that. Okay, definitely I will look on that topic. If you are interested in that, I will definitely make that. So if you're watching it for the very first time guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. if you are watching it for the very first time. Only 16 likes are there, guys. Please hit the like button. I am seeing people are not liking the content. Please increase it to 20 likes so that more and more people can join in this live stream, and more education will be got by all the individuals. So don't be shy in hitting that like button. So we have discussed this filter method, guys. Then we need to now discuss some more methods here. The next question comes with, guys, how to filter an array of object in ES6. Let's suppose we also have an object which we need to filter out. This is the real life situation. Basically, let's suppose we have a users array, which can be, it's a array of object. Each object has a property which is a name property, age property which is and this can be, you are doing really good, Spro, really appreciate your efforts, thank you very much. So put a comma here, and basically we have a series of objects here. You can change the name here to anything. Ages, you can say 35, so, and you can see, we can say here 31, and then we can say here, so we can say 46. So now, guys, we need to eliminate those persons which ages are below 30. You will now see, let's suppose I make it as 20. So these two persons have ages below 30, guys, so we need to eliminate these. So here we will apply the second here, which is adult, and here we will be applying the users dot filter, and here, by guys, for each user we will apply this. Basically now we will be basically returning all the users which their ages are greater than. So here we will say user dot age greater than 30. So you can now see, if you now console log it, adult. So basically, guys, all the persons which ages are greater than 30 will be returned. In this case it will be Guptill and Anderson with ages 31 and 46. If you refresh it now, guys, you will now see we have two elements which are present here, Guptill and Anderson. Both their ages is 31 and 46. So you can see that. Now, this is the filter out array of objects, guys. This is a real life scenario. If you are getting this data from an API JSON response, this can even be a JSON. This is a JavaScript object, but we can even make it as JSON. Just wrap it inside this square brackets like this. Just do it like this. So you can now see. So you can see that, guys, this is converted to a JSON object now. This is valid JSON here. Basically we can do it same for this also. The syntax remains the same. You can now see again two elements are returned to us, Guptill, Anderson, and we can change this condition here. We can even put a name restriction also. Basically return all the ages, user dot name, basically if user dot name is not equal to Guptill, we just need to return the user. That's it. So here we are just telling it we need to return all the users except Guptill. So you will see Guptill will not be returned to us. So you will see that if you refresh it, so you will see Gautam, Smith, Anderson is returned. Guptill is eliminated because we have put this restriction. Yeah, user.name is not equal to Guptill, so you can see we are returning the whole user. So in this way, guys, you can filter out the array of names. So if you have any sort of doubt, guys, you can ask in the comment section. And please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. Don't be shy in hitting that like button because you're not hitting that like button. I am putting in the effort, I am putting in the hard work. Please appreciate my hard work. Please hit that like button so that I can continue with this patience of dictating all this stuff. My throat is also very weak here. You can now see the throat is also becoming weak. I'm speaking non-stop, and I'm not also taking a break as well. So this also put this a lot of restriction, but I will be doing it for you guys. As long as you guys are enjoying the stream, I will definitely try to make videos, live streams, and putting it the effort to explaining each and every concept of JavaScript in detail. If you have any sort of doubt, guys, you can ask in the comment section. Basically, if you have any sort of doubt, any interview question that you want to ask, you can even ask me. I will explain in pure detail. So basically, guys, now we will be discussing the new here. Basically, let's suppose we take another option. Karthikeyan is saying, he's saying good work, so thank you Karthikeyan for appreciating the effort. So now we can even have nested object, guys. Basically, if you see, we have a simple object here, array of object. So but in API we can even have a nested object as well. So we need to also tackle that situation. Basically, if you are taking data from an API, there can also have situations when you can have data in a nested manner. So for that, you need to first of all how to tackle that situation. So a nested object is somewhat different. If you see the nested object, let me take example to explain you. So nested object is nothing but a object which contains sub objects. So let's suppose we have name here, and basically it's Gautam. Then we have age, which we have 13. So then we have also can have a address. Bro, हम मोबाइल फोन से कोडिंग कैसे? So I don't think so. Mobile phone is supported for coding. So if you want to become a coder, you need a laptop or PC. From mobile phone you can't do it coding. There is no such editor available for mobile phones, and it becomes very much difficult to type it on a mobile phone. All this. So for this you need a laptop. So for address, guys, we will need a nested object. So inside this address we will have a city, and this will be New Delhi. This can also be a postal address, post address, or postal code, and this can be an integer. So you can see this is a nested object. Basically, if you see here, basically inside, whenever you get any sort of data from an API, this nested object can be like this. Basically, this is a nested object. So now to access these properties, guys, inside the nested object, we can simply say, now to access this property, we'll say nested object dot no, sorry, age is a number, so I need to change it to 30. Yeah, correct. Ili is saying why age is a string, so I just put this. How to answer in an interview for an year gap between studies? Nikhil is asking. Year gap? What year gap? How to answer in an interview for an year gap between studies? I think you're saying that if you have a year gap, basically, I don't think so you will face a problem if you know all the concepts. If you also have a year gap due to a problem such as corona or something else, if you know the concept, you can definitely crack the interview. There is no such problem out there of year gap. So here now, if you want to access this address property, guys, how you will write this? This property is very easy, which is name. But how to access this property of this nested object? We will simply say nested object dot address dot city. We are using the same dot formula here, guys. You can see that this can even have another nested property as well. So let's suppose we can also have I had double drop, still got job. Yeah, many people, Vedant is saying, many people are there in programming. If you have a year gap or any sort of gap, this doesn't prevent you from success. People on their 40s are also doing interviews or starting a YouTube channel of programming. Still they are succeeding it. So there is no such force that can stop you from not succeeding in programming. You can even have one such object as well, house object. Let's suppose the name of the house. Let's suppose I put here Shanti Niketan house. This is a very famous house, and here we can say the number, which is 123. 123. Put a comma. So you can see how the nesting is going on. You can even nest down it is endless. You can nest out the object in a very endless way. So now to access all these properties, guys, you can just access it by the simplest of formula, console log. If you want to access this name property, how you will do this? It's very easy. Nested object dot address dot house dot name. So now if you refresh it, if you go to your browser, you will now see Shantiniketan is printed out, Gautam is printed out, New Delhi. So this is the way by which you can access the nested object, guys. So this becomes very much easy, guys. You can apply a filter method also basically on these objects. So it totally depends upon you. If you want to apply now this property, which is this needs to be an array. So basically array of objects, we can put a comma here and we can simply paste this object one more time, 2 times, 3 times. So you will now see, put a comma here. So just format this document. You now see this is name here. You can change this name to any name, change it to, put the name of the house to, let's suppose Shantiniketan. I put this, and here I change this house to, let's suppose John Villa. So now we can apply this. Basically, guys, we can change it to the homes array of objects. So now we can simply say modified homes, and here we can apply a filter method, filter, and for each home basically we will be comparing it. If home dot address dot house dot name is not equal to Shanti Niketan, so then we just need to return out the home. So if you console log the modified names, guys, basically, and only a single element will be present. If you see only a single element, you will now see only one element. You can see this is a nested object which is there. In the address we have the house number, which is John Villa, because all those, this is eliminated because the name was Shantiniketan. This is also eliminated, the name was Shantiniketan. So in this way you can filter out an array of object. For example, I have a gap between my 12th and graduation, and now in interview the interviewer is asking what was the reason of gap. Then what should I be my answer? Well, what was the reasoning behind your decision? You don't have to tell the truth, but being honest is going to be difficult later on. You can just tell the interviewer that some circumstances happened, that's why I want to I need to sit on the home for 1 year. You can just put some kind of reasoning for that, and the interviewer will understand your situation. It is not that bad situation that you are in. Still your age is very young for a programmer, and you can still land a very good job. You just need to give interviews in multiple companies, and one such interviewer will understand your situation. So it doesn't make any difference that you are telling that if you have a year gap, this will not stop you from landing a very good job, in my opinion. So this interviewer may be not understanding your situation. You can try out in different companies, so definitely they will understand your situation. So guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. You can also say that your school didn't provide enough challenge, or that you want to take a different path than the school. Yeah, there can be multiple reasons out there. You can give any reason of your choice, and yeah, you can also give this reason. The next topic, guys, I will be saying this topic here. So you can see we will be discussing the next method here, guys, which will be very much important method. So basically, guys, if you want to connect with me on my Udemy React videos, yeah, React is also very popular language, guys. Also invest some time in learning React.js. Guys, I was talking about if you want to connect with me one by one to ask doubts. Basically, I will give this link in the comment section. So what we can do is that we can simply join this WhatsApp group. Basically, I have created this WhatsApp group here for all of you guys. If you want interested, you can join this WhatsApp group. This is the official group of Coding Shiksha. So you can just put your own ideas for videos. So YouTube doesn't send notifications. I know that perfectly. That's why I created this group. Already 60 members are there. So you can even join this WhatsApp group to put the actual doubts that you have. So I have put this. So just join this if you are new to the channel. Also hit the like button as well. So now we were having some doubts, guys. So now let me discuss the next method out there. Basically, this method will be there for, if you see, guys, we will be discussing the next method here, which will be, if you found out, let me see the next method which we will be discussing here, which will be, if you see here, JavaScript E6 methods will be there. JavaScript E6 methods. So here, guys, we will simply say E6 methods. So now we will be using the find method, guys. Basically the find method, which actually by the name itself, let me have a array here which contains various numbers here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the array here. We will be using the find method, guys, to actually find out the value at each index. So here we will simply say here, let me find out numbers.find, and here we will simply provide the index. So we need to find the value at index number 2. So here we can simply console log this. So if you now run this, basically someone is asking what happens when you have a duplicate value or a non-existing value. If you are telling that 6 is repeated multiple times, for that also we can also have a method to remove duplicate items. Let me discuss this first. So if you want to do this, guys, basically it will find out 0, 1, 2. Indexing starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2. So 8 will be returned here. So if you refresh it now, guys, if you see here, 2 is not a function. If you see, guys, we have this find method. So basically it is another new function of E6. It basically finds a value from an array based upon a specific criteria that is passed to this method. It returns the first element value that satisfies the given condition. So here, guys, you will simply here call this here numbers.find here, numbers.find, and for each number here we will return here, which is number greater than, you can simply return here number which is greater than 1. So if you just console log this, guys, basically it will return out the first element which is meeting this criteria. So if you see, inside the array here we have multiple elements here, which is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here we are putting this criteria, which is we need to find out an element inside this array which is greater than 1. So in this case all the elements are greater than 1. So basically it will return the first element. If you refresh it now, so the 6 will be returned to us because this was the first element. So if I say here 6 greater than 9, so in this scenario basically 10 will be returned here because 6 is not greater than 9, 7 is not greater than 9. So in this case if you refresh it, 10 will be returned to us. If you put here 47 also, in that case also the very first element which meets the condition is returned to us. So that's the importance of this find method, guys. You will see still 10 will be returned to us. And if you put here 50, no elements will be returned because in this case no element is greater than 50. So if you refresh it, it will return here undefined. So I put this link, WhatsApp group, guys, in the description of this live chat. You can join the WhatsApp group of Coding Shiksha to ask any sort of doubt. Also hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So here you can also have a the next thing, if you want to remove the duplicate from the array, duplicate elements from the array. So let's suppose we have some duplicate elements which are present. 7 is present multiple times. So now we need to remove these duplicate elements. So how we can do this? 9 is also repeated twice. So now we can follow the for each loop. We can pass the numbers. For each element here, we can simply say here if element is not equal to element. I think for the duplicate here we need to create a so there is a, if you type here now how to remove this JavaScript program to remove duplicate elements. So JavaScript program to remove duplicates items from an array. If you see, there is a program out there which lets you do this. Let me explain you what is the program. Yeah. I think there is some you can use the set operator as well. Using the set, basically we have the set operator as well. So you can use the set operator, guys. So please hit the like button, guys, subscribe the channel as well. So we have a set operator inside JavaScript which lets you remove the duplicate elements. So here we will make this function which is remove duplicates, and here we will pass our numbers array. So here we will simply say new array, and here we will be using dot set, and here we will pass the numbers like this. I think this is the actual function here, new set. So if you now just return this new array, and here you just need to call this function which is console log remove duplicates, pass your numbers array. So if you refresh it, guys, now basically constructor set requires new. What is it saying? Let me see. Basically, yeah, it requires the new operator. So it requires a new operator, guys. So this is a set operator here. If you refresh it, so now it removes all the duplicates. So here we have used the set operator 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 47. So you will see all the duplicates element has been removed here, which is 7 was repeating thrice here, it was removed. 9 was repeating twice, it was removed. Only a single instance has been preserved in the browser. You will now see this is the first method. But I think you can do this. There is also a second method which you can apply. So the second method will use a certain for loop. If you see here, guys, we have the second method. Basically this is a using by set operator, and here we can even put a can use this unique array index of property, which is the index of property. Wouldn't it be slow to loop through the array though? Yeah, it would be slow, but this approach is very much good. This new set approach, basically if you want to remove the duplicate arrays from the actual array, this approach is good. If you look this approach, so now I will be showing you the for loop. So inside this, guys, basically we will use the for each numbers, and for each number, guys, basically here you will be targeting. We will simply say here we will compare it inside if condition, that if number dot index of, if you see, I think the index of is used. If unique array dot index of I, yeah, we are calling this on this array. So index of, so as you see, guys, inside this we can even pass here the index as well. So index number, so here we can pass the actual index as well, like this, sorry, index. So here we can compare it if it is equal to -1. So here we are comparing it basically. If it is equal to -1, then in that case we need to push it. So here we can create unique array. This will be empty by default, and if it is unique here, we need to push this. So we can use the push method basically to push this entry, which is actual number. And then lastly we can return out this unique array. So like this, I think this needs to be in the function. So remove duplicates, you will provide your numbers array in this function. So just outside this we will remove return this unique array. So if you see, guys, we need to call this function now, basically remove duplicates. You will pass the numbers array, and basically, guys, inside this, if you console log this, just console log this basically, and if you refresh it now, guys, basically it is saying index of is not defined. Okay, I think we need to put this on the numbers array. Unique array is not defined. I think, let me define this at the, so refresh it now, guys, you will now see this is empty. Empty is returned here. For this guys, what we can say is that we can use the for loop. Basically let I of numbers. Here we can use numbers dot index of I. If it is equal to -1, we can put this inside a if condition. In that case, we can basically push this, basically unique array, push uh, the actual I. Then we can return out the unique array. If you refresh it now, if you paste this example guys, if you see, paste it, the whole example, you will now see this is the example. We are looping through the array which is we have defined here. We are passing this array as an argument. For each element here, we are saying if unique array dot index of I is equal to -1, then we need to push this to the array, unique array, and then we need to console log it. Just refresh it now, you will see 1, 2, 3. So if you're watching it for the very first time guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. In this way you can filter out the unique elements and also remove the duplicates as well. And then we have the next method guys, which is find index. So find index is basically it returns the index of the first element of the given array that satisfies the given condition. So this time guys, it returns the not the value, but it returns the index. It is similar to the find method, but if you see this, we are discussing the find index method. So let's suppose we have a list of numbers here, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will apply a condition here which is find index. So here guys, we will put the actual number and we will simply say a number greater than 5. So now basically if you console log it, so basically it is simply saying in this condition, just find out a element inside this array which is greater than 5. Find out the index, not the value. So in this case, indexing starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. The third index will be returned to us, which is holding this value, which is 6. So if you refresh it now in the browser, if you go, 3 will be returned to us. You can see that. So this is the actual difference. If you make this as find, basically, now this will return 6 instead of 3. It will actually return the value. This is the difference between find and find index. You can now see it actually returns the index of the value, but in the find it returns the actual value. Guys, you are not chatting in the live chat. Please also explain if you are liking the teaching that I'm doing it here non-stop. Please also convey some messages in the live chat. Just be a little bit interactive. Don't be shy in typing the messages, because if you don't type messages, I don't get the appreciation or I don't get the feedback of what I'm teaching is good or bad. So also at times just Fanny Patel is saying that yes, it's really good. So please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. This is the find index method guys, and so basically there are various, can I ask question about React? So this is your platform guys, you can ask any sort of questions, no restrictions are there, so you can ask any questions of your choice. This is a full platform of yours. You can ask any question that you want to. I will not put a restriction on you. So basically guys, we will now discuss the next method out there, which is the next method is entries. So this is the method guys we will be targeting now. This method returns an array iterator object which can be used to loop through keys and values of arrays. Arrays.entries. So if you see guys now, if you want the key value pairs inside the array, let me show you example here, which is this is the iterator object. I think this is entries method in JavaScript. So let's suppose we have the names array. We have John, Kane, and then this. So now we have 4 names out there, and basically we will put this entries method like this. If you now console log this, let me say object. So if you want to console log it for each, you can simply say let I of object console log I. So what will simply say guys, if you say here, you can now see 0 1 John, 1 Kane, 0 is 2, 1 is Gautam. If you see, if you console log, so while creating an app and I got stuck, like I have multiple categories like user, products, orders. So I have stored data in Firebase and I fetch the data from there. So you were creating an app and you got stuck. I have multiple categories like user, products, orders. For this, Fanny Patel, you need to send me the code basically. Then I will look at the code where you stuck. You can note down my ID here, which is geekygautam1997@gmail.com. Try to send me an email and I will definitely look at your code. So how to add data dynamically, like for local hosts, customers, different data for products. You can send me the code. I will try to look at the code, how you structure your application, because it totally depends upon developer to developer how you develop your application. You can console log the object here. So if you console log the object guys, try to look here. This is returning an iterator object guys, you will now see. Let me show you the complete example. If you refresh it guys, this is the example here. We have a colors array which is red, yellow, blue, black, and here we are calling the entries method here to the colors array, and here we will see we are looping through the for loop console log I. If you console log it, so you can see this is having the index is equal to 0, and then we have the first index is red, then we have 1 yellow. So I think this contains the 0 red, 1 yellow, 2 blue, 3 black. So it returns the index as well as the actual value. So as you see in the console, basically the index is returned to us, which is 0, and the actual value, which is red. In this case, the index is incremented from 0 to 1. This is a second value, so yellow is there. So basically this is the iterator. So if you want to iterate basically to any array of example, we can do like this. We can call the entries method here, and it can even be an integer array 56, 78, 89. So this can even work for an integer array as well, totally depends upon you. So now to get the actual index, you will simply write here I dot 0, like this. If you refresh it now, it will only return the index here 0 1 2 3, and so if you see, refresh it now, it is saying undefined. So we can simply say the index we will concatenate here the index plus, which is we can simply say here um, I dot 0 has value. You can concatenate the value here, which is in the first array. If you refresh it now, basically you will now see the index 0 has value 45, 1 has 56. You can put some spacing here as well. So now you can see index 0 has value 45, 1 has value 56, 2 has value 78, index 3 has value 89. So this can even be a string array as well, guys, totally depends upon you. So this is very much useful if you're looping through an array of objects. You need to get the index number as well. So just refresh it. Now you can see that. So the next thing is, guys, we basically this is for the entries method that we have discussed. Please hit the like button, guys, if you're watching it for the very first time. I see people are not liking the content, only 43 likes are there. So just reach up to 50 likes. This is a new target for the live stream. So you can hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button. So basically for here, you will now see we have this from method here. Basically we are discussing the from method. So the general function of this method is to enable new array creation from an array-like object. It converts array-like values and iterative values such as set and map into arrays. So if you see, guys, we can even create an array from a string. So if there is a question here, how to convert a string to an array. For this purpose, we are using this method, which is, let's suppose we have a name here which we need to convert to an array here. So here we will simply use the from method. We will say array from. We will simply put Kane Williamson. This is the string we have passed here. If you console log the name, the array is constructed with each character having this. If you refresh it, you will now see 15 characters are there. You can now see 0 is handling K, 1 is A, 2 is N, 3 is E, space is also having this character 4. A total of 15 characters are there. If you closely look here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 characters are there. We are just looping through and showing it. It can even be integer as well, guys. Totally depends upon you. Put integers here. No, you can't pass integers. This needs to be a string value. Just surround this in a like this. Now you can see that. So 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4. So you can simply convert a string into an array, guys, using this from method. This is the actual from method which is there. So you can also ask some questions, guys, if you are facing any sort of in the live chat. We can interact. So this is the method, guys. So now basically now we have array of 42. So in ES5, when a single numeric value gets passed in the array constructor, then it will create an array of that size. Array of is a new way of creating an array which fixes this behavior of ES5. So by using this method, if you are creating an array only with a single numeric value, then it will create an array only with that value instead of creating the array of that size. Stack के क्वेश्चन बता दो इनबिल्ट मेथड से. Sanjay Gupta is saying stack के question. Which stack you are talking about? Just elaborate your question. Which stack? So there is this off method if you run this example. So if you construct it array 42, if you pass here 26, now this will be length will be 2. If you refresh it, length will be 2. There will be 2 elements out there, 0, 1, like this. This is the next way of declaring arrays. This is a one way. This is the numbers array, numbers 1. You can even create the same array using a different syntax, which is numbers 2, like this new array. We can pass the same here, 24, 42, 26, 78, 78. If you put the also this numbers 2 length. So if you see the numbers 1, if you see numbers 1 dot length, so basically both the values will return the same result here. Basically 4 elements are there, 4 elements are there. So this is just a new way of declaring the array like this. So new array or array dot off. I have shared the mail. Okay, definitely I will check it. Let me just see if you have sent this. So definitely, Fanim Patel, you have sent this. I will definitely check out this when I've got free time. So yeah, I will definitely check it. So please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. People, please hit the like button. So here, guys, you will see that this is the array of structure here, numbers 1 dot length. The next method we will be talking about is copy within. So inside copy within, guys, basically it is an interesting method that is added to the library of array methods in ES6. This method copies the part of an array to a different location within the same array. It returns the modified array without any modification in its length. Instead of adding more items to the array, this method only overrides the elements of the original array. So there is a very good question, guys, here, basically how to copy elements of an array, one array to another in JavaScript. So this method is there for this. So let's suppose we have two arrays, which is number 1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have now the second array, which is numbers 2. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the method, guys, which is used here. If you create a third array, which is numbers 3, basically we have this numbers 1 concat method. Basically this concat both these arrays into one array, but in this we will be using the different method which is called as copy within. So basically here you need to provide the target value. So here we will simply say here number copy within 135. So the result will be 1. So it is saying it is always required, it is the index position to copy the elements. It is an optional parameter, it refers to the index position to start copying the elements. Its default value is 0. If the value of this parameter is negative, then start will be counted from the end. And it is an also optional parameter, it refers to the index position to stop copying the elements. Its default value is the length of the array. So guys, if you see this copy within method here, it's the index position to copy the element. The start and the end. So basically here we are saying index number should be 1. स्टैक क्यूज के क्वेश्चन और यूज एक्सप्लेन कर देना, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपके explanations. Sir, if you have a multiple object in JavaScript, then how can we pass the first value of each object to create a new array? If we have multiple objects, is there any way to compare two JSON responses? Yeah, we have a method. I have shown you this method, key value. So if you have a multiple objects in JavaScript, then how we can pass the first value of each object to create a new array? Then how we can pass the first value of each object to create a new array? Okay, I understand your question. You're talking about that if you have multiple objects, let's suppose we have array of objects here, users. So inside this we have a name property, which is Gautam, age is equal to 25, put a comma. So then we have a series of objects here like this, 2, 3, 4. You change this to any name of your choice, Smith. You change it to Guptil here like this. You change it to here, Jani. Changes the age here, 34, 32, 76, 56. So we have these 4 objects out there, guys. So as you're telling me that how to construct a new array with the name properties, so we can apply this. Basically we can do this using a simple for each loop. Basically we can simply say the users, and for each user basically we can simply pass the user here, and here we can declare a names array which will be empty by default. And for each, here we will be comparing, or we can push this names.push user.name. That's it. So if you console log it names, you will get your names array. If you refresh it now, you will now see this will be the, I think what we need to do, just declare this names array outside here. So let names is empty. So here we can simply say so if you see basically we can console log the names here. So if you refresh it now, basically you will now see 4 elements will be there with the names here. So Gautam, Smith, Kaptil, Janice. So in this case you can create arrays from an objects, multiple objects. You can also put the ages as well, guys, if you want the ages. So you will see ages. So totally depends upon you which values you want. So this is very easy. Some more questions coming. I have 2 huge JSON responses to compare. Suggest me an efficient way to do rather than looping. Kind regards, your subscriber. So I don't think so there is a built-in method which is available to compare JSON responses, but I think you can put a for each loop, which is very much easy. You can compare any two JSON responses. Let's suppose we have one JSON response. Uh, this is one JSON response, user one. Then we have the second one, which is user two. But it will take some more time to compare. I don't think so. You just need to take your. I don't think so. It will take more time. Loops are very much important in programming. Basically, it solves a lot of tasks. So I don't think so. It takes a lot of time. So we have these two JSON responses out there, and basically user one dot for each. It's almost take 2000 iterations. If you see here, we are comparing the name property. So we can make a new method here, compare with the other user, compare with, and here we can pass the user like this, function compare with user, and basically here we can use the for each loop. This time this will be user 2. We'll have the user 2. We can compare it if user 2 dot name is equal to user dot name. So in this case we need to put a third array, which is let third, or we can say here we can declare a new array which is third, which will be empty by default. So we can simply say third dot push user 2 dot name. That's it. So here we can simply console log it just after this. Sorry, third. So if basically we are comparing if the names are equal to it. So let's suppose I change these names to anything else. So here only one element will be present, which because Gautam is equal to Gautam. So if you refresh it now, so it is saying cannot access third before initialization. What is, I think we need to move this. So third is empty here basically. Function is called first. So you can see only a single element is there. So you can see only a single element is there. So we have compared two JSON responses here using a for each loop. And basically we can even search here, basically compare two JSON objects in JavaScript. there is no direct method which is available which lets you do this. You need to use the loops in order to do this. I think there is no direct method which is available for this. How to add to the array of each elements line by line. What array? What Sanjay Gupta you are saying? What array you are talking about? How to add to the array of each elements line by line. How to add to the array of each elements line by line. I didn't get your question. Can you just elaborate on this question here? So basically guys, we have different methods out there. Find index, then we have entries. We have discussed this method. Keys, we have also discussed it. Sorry, we doesn't discuss the keys method, guys. So this method works similar to the arrays entries method. As its name implies, it is used to return an array iterator object along with the keys of an array. So if you now see, guys, we have this array numbers, so which is 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we can call this keys method here, which is numbers.keys. If you just say, you will see number is not defined. Sorry, numbers dot keys. So just refresh it, guys, now. So it returns a array iterator, guys, basically array iterator, and this is the array iterator object, and so we can simply do this like this, dot dot dot. So it returns here 0, 1, 2, 3. You will now see it will return all the indexes out there. And you can even do like this, which is for I of number dot keys. So here we can simply console log I. If you see, just remove this. Number keys is not iterable. Just store this inside keys, numbers.keys. So this needs to be a function. So just refresh it now. You will now see 0, 1, 2, 3. So basically it returns all the keys variable, keys of the array. So this is very much beneficial, guys, inside applications whenever you want only the keys of the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3. Can you make a video about making a dashboard for managing orders? In which language or which application you're talking about? If you want to do it in React.js, I will definitely make it. So please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel as well. If you want to join with me, guys, I have also given the WhatsApp group. You can join the WhatsApp group here. Bro, is this class coming daily? Yeah, okay. Obviously I do daily live streams. So if I have a if condition, then what I need to do, if I want to compare multiple values at once in that if condition without using in the if condition before printing else condition. So I have a if condition, then what I have to do if I want to compare multiple values at once in that if condition without using the OR operator. So why don't you need to use this OR operator? OR operator is specifically meant for that, comparing multiple conditions. This OR operator and all this AND symbol. This OR operator is called as a Boolean OR operator, and this AND one is equal to AND operator. So this is Boolean gates. You have studied these. This is specifically meant for conditioning. So if you have a condition here, basically if user is the age is greater than 18 or age is smaller than 50 in either of these cases. So this is really important. Without this, I don't think so you can do this. So please hit the like button, guys, subscribe the channel, and if you see the next method which we are there, can we don't use array and a loop to compare with that if condition? There are always things you can do, but this will look messy, and there is one such method which is available, so why not use that instead of using loops and arrays? So I don't think so it will be a good scenario. The code will look messier. And then guys, we have the next method. Please hit the like button, guys, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. So then we have the next method, guys, which is called as values. This method is similar to keys and entries, except that it provides the value of each key. Bro, can you please tell spread operator? Yeah, definitely. Spread operator is, if you see, if you want to console log the spread operator, which is numbers. The spread operator, guys, it's very famous. If you see in the console, it is 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, it copies all the content in that 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you want to add, let's suppose 56 to it, if you refresh it, so now if you see, it will add 3, 4, 5, 6, 56. So basically it adds at the last element. So here you can even add a string value as well, John. So John will be added by the 6th element. So 6 John will be printed out. If you see 6 John. So this is spread operator, guys. You have seen in various projects such as Firebase project, React.js project. This is very much used, the spread operator. Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I want to add each number with a built-in function. Is this stored as an array? Yeah, definitely it's stored as an array. You can even loop through it. Basically, if you now use the for loop, I of numbers, and basically if you console log I, basically refresh it, you will now see 3, 4, 5, 6, and you need to store it basically inside a variable. Basically here, let new, and this needs to be inside square brackets like this. It is saying let declaration is not allowed. I need to put here new symbol or what? Let me see, guys, what is the problem here. Numbers. This is a spread operator that you talked about. New array, which is numbers plus 46. If you console log it, so why it is showing that this declaration is not allowed here? Let me take example of spread operator. I also don't understand fully the concept of spread operator. Arrays example. If you see guys inside this spread operator, basically this is the example which is given here. So basically guys, we have this numbers array 1 2 3, and if you want to console log some basically how to find the maximum value and minimum value in array in built-in function. Okay, definitely in the next one I will show you. Expected output is 6. Expected output is also 6. Sum dot apply. If you see here, we are passing the numbers. If you see, if you console log xyz, console log xyz, yz, console log z. If you see guys now, if you refresh it, one two three six, 1 2 3 6. If you have more elements, so what will happen now? 1 2 3 6, 1 2 3 6. Just refresh it now. 1 2 3 6. Send WhatsApp number. You can get this WhatsApp number. This is a WhatsApp number. You can message it. You can even join the WhatsApp group as well. So it is totally free of cost. So please hit the like button guys. Also subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. So basically this is a spread operator that we talked about, which is some numbers. Let me take a concrete example of spread operator. Spread operator. So basically this spread operator guys allows you to quickly copy all or part of an existing array of object into another array of object. This is a very basic example. If you see, we have two arrays 1 2 3 4 5 6, and basically we are combining it to a resultant array which is this one, numbers combined. So now this will have these 1 2 3 4 5 6. If you refresh it, so now you will see it will combine all these arrays 1 2 3 4 5 6. If you see here 6, one, 2, 3, 7. Now you can see that. This is actual syntax guys. You can even provide multiple here like this. 1 2 3 7 8. This is the actual values. You can even provide string values as well here. Let's suppose John. Like this 1 2 3 7 8 John. And I think you even can provide an array as well. 1 2 3. So now you can see we have an array here as well inside this 1 2 3. It can even have an object as well. So name is Gautam, age is 34. If you see, now we have 8 elements. This is numeric string. This is an array. This is an object, age 34 name. This is the use of spread operator, guys. It basically merges all the things here. Basically, this is, we need to put dot dot dot, these three signs, to the array to which we are adding here. And also we can have multiple arrays. We just need to write here, if you see, numbers 2. Let's refresh it. So you will see 1 2 3 4 5 6. If you see dot dot dot, it will be there inside the same array, 0 1 2 3 4 5. If you put this dot 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 sign, it will be in the same array, 6 7 8. If you do this now, if you refresh it, it will be in the separate array, and if you put here dot dot dot, it will be in the same array. You will now see. So this is the basic usage of spread operator, guys. Basically, it basically merges out the arrays. So this is the actual use of spread operator in arrays. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. If you're watching it for the very first time, I see people are not liking the content. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel as well. Already it is 54 likes, just increase up to 60 likes. So it is already 2 hours long, this live stream. So thank you very much, guys, for watching all these things. If you have any sort of questions now, this is a question answer session. You can ask in the comment section. I will definitely reply to all the questions now. It is so lengthy live stream that I took here. So if you have any sort of doubt here, you can ask in the comment section. I will definitely reply to the questions. Daily timings, I can't tell you whenever. I can even do 4 to 5 live streams daily if I have the mood, if I have the hard work. Basically, I put this hard work daily. So this day was an exception. I didn't have the time, so that I goes live and for only one occasion. So I think the timings are, I can even come in the morning as well, morning, evening. So I'm free all the time, so I can come anytime soon. So just put that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell icon, so that you receive all the notifications whenever I come live. Or you can simply join the WhatsApp group, basically. And join the WhatsApp group if you want to. And subscribe the channel, guys, and hopefully you will understand anything that I've told you in this tutorial. So it's very good to see, guys, you are joining it at the correct time and appreciating the work as well, what I do, because you will now see a lot of things are happening, and good to see all these views increasing. You will now see. If you have any sort of questions, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. So now let me just take a break here. If you have questions, you can write in the comment section.